Hey, what's up guys? Chad here. How you doing? Chilling in Cebu City. Guys, if you've been watching my videos lately, a lot of them look just like this. Just kind of me chatting and sharing information, things that I've learned. A lot of it has been about like dating and relationships, but it's not all going to be like that. And this video is not going to be about dating and relationships. I recently received a comment just kind of asking about specifically Cebu City, and is it a good place for someone in their 60s to come and hang out and retire and spend a lot of time. And I've had comments in the past, kind of similar type questions about different areas and what it's like there. So here's my thoughts. I've spent a lot of time in Cebu City, and I think for me personally, like this became my home base. This is the spot that I always came back to. If I was out traveling, I was out on an island, I would always come back to Cebu City. It's so convenient. It's so easy to fly in, flights coming here from everywhere, and flights going out, to other places. So easy travel. You can get cheap flights here out of Cebu City so easily. And it's easy to come here as a foreigner, as a traveler, and find somewhere to stay. So for me, I always stay in IT Park or somewhere in like Cebu Business Park, close to Ayala Mall. And if you're only here a short time, it's super easy to just hop on Airbnb or booking.com and find a place to stay. I use Airbnb a lot. In IT Park, I usually stay at a place called Avida Towers. So there's two. It's kind of confusing. There's the original Avida Towers Cebu, and great spot. There's two buildings. It's got nice amenities, got a pool, it's got like a running track and a nice garden, friendly, secure cameras and all that, and it's walking distance to everything. And there's another Avida. So if you're searching, just so you know, I'll just brief you guys on this. Avida Reala, and it's a newer building. There's a few buildings. There's like 4 or something like that. And it's got pools, it's got all the amenities as well. It's still it's close. It's in IT Park, so you can walk everywhere. I like both, but I would say I like the original Avida better, and here's why. Because the amenities are accessible to short-term stay. Like you just go to the pool, you sign in, and you go for a swim. If you're staying at the other Avida, you actually have to work it out with the host, and they sort of like put in a request for you to swim on a certain day, and I think there's a small fee. It's not easy. It's not like you just go to the pool and go swimming. So I always try to stay at the original Avida. I like the location a little bit better too. It's right across the street from the Sugbo Mercado, it's called. It's really cool. It's like a night food market. Anyways, those are the two main options. There's some other ones. And then over at Ayala Mall area, Cebu Business Park, there's some Airbnbs over there too. So let me just say this, with that comment asking about like, is it appropriate for someone in their 60s? Absolutely. So my good friend Greg, he's in his 60s, an Australian guy. And then I've met other people, like friends of his before I came here. A lot of guys in their 50s, a lot of guys in their 60s. There's older as well. There's also younger guys here too, there's no question, 20s, 30s, a lot of guys in their 40s. I'm 45. So yeah, to that particular comment, to anyone that's considering Cebu or thinking about where to go, man, that age range, any age is actually really, really good here in Cebu City. It caters to everybody. If you're into nightlife, it's got that. If you're into just getting up early and going to a coffee shop and chatting with your friends, it's got that. There's tons of people to meet here. So if you want to meet other foreigners or expats, really easy to do so. There's things you can sign up for. I've met some people recently, like they went to a outing. It was actually on a YouTube video where they sort of promoted some social gathering, and it was through YouTube. Facebook does the same thing. There's different things you can sign up for where you meet other people. It's easy to date, whether you're in your 30s or your 60s or whatever. Tons of options for dating and meeting girls in person or online. You got access to healthcare here, tons of hospitals, tons of little clinics. So it's really convenient. So yeah, to answer that, age doesn't really matter here. I think it's appropriate for everyone. Downside, so it's a city, it's a big city, it's traffic. If you want to be close to nature, this is really not the place to be. If you want a small town close to the beach, or close to jungles and waterfalls and things like that, Cebu City is not where you're gonna want to live. Now, Cebu Island's got freaking amazing stuff nature-wise, waterfalls and jungles and awesome little towns and all that, but you got to get out of the city for that. There's some stuff here. You can go to Lapu-Lapu and there's resorts and some beaches, but it is not at all the same, not nearly as good as if you go down to like, Muabwal or some areas down there, Oslab, and freaking amazing. There's waterfalls and just such beautiful forests and landscapes and stuff like that. Rivers, and you can rent a scooter and just like tour around, and it's amazing. Some of the best waterfalls, and the watercolor, spectacular. The canyoneering down that way, snorkeling and all that. So, but that's different. That's not Cebu City. That's not like a day trip. You know, got to get out of the city. 3 hours, you're down there, and you're just going to want to stay there for a little bit. I know people that retired in Moambol and love it. For me, that's my home base. This is Cebu City is where I've come most of the time. However, I've spent a little bit of time in Panglao, Bohol, and also Dumaguete, and these are two very popular areas for foreigners as well. How I would describe Panglao, so you got tons of beaches. It's a beach area for sure. A lot of resorts along the beach, but there are some public beaches too. Alona Beach is sort of like the main touristy area where there's tons of nightlife and restaurants. A lot of these places are foreigner owned. There's tons of expats that live there full time. It seems like it's a little bit more of a bar scene. Like everyone that I met that lives there, foreigners, you know, they're at a restaurant bar. They're nightlife, or even during the day. You know, I went to a place, awesome Mexican restaurant, met some great people there, but it's kind of like you're hanging out having margaritas during the day, which is nothing wrong with that. But that's the scene there. It's a little bit different, maybe a little bit more limited, but way more laid back. Traffic is not an issue. Super friendly vibe. I guess more of the beach vibe. So that's Panglao. There's also an airport right there, which is awesome. So you have the convenience of an airport. I don't think it flies to everywhere like Cebu does, but you got good options, and you can ferry over to Cebu City. And then Tagbilaran is a bigger city that's pretty close to Panglao, so you have access to, you know, some conveniences of a smaller city right there. So that's Panglao. And Dumaguete, I really like Dumaguete. It's super popular for foreigners and expats. It just seems so up and coming. Like there's a lot of trendy restaurants and cafes opening up. It feels like a lot of money is being poured into this city. And what I love about Dumaguete, the city itself is okay. There's like the boulevard and waterfront and some markets, and it feels like a good vibe there for sure. But what I love is the quick access to nature and the stuff that I really like to do, right? So rent a scooter, head up into the jungle and the mountains, and there's waterfalls everywhere, there's hot springs, cool little towns up in the hills, and you can get away from the city really easily, you know, compared to Cebu City. So that's what I love about Dumaguete. You can also zip down south of the city, and there's some awesome like public beaches where you can hang out, spend the day with fantastic snorkeling. Way better than I expected. Rented some snorkel gear for like super cheap, you know, hanging out on the beach, and just went for a swim, and I was like, wow, right off the beach. So Dumaguete's got really great nature stuff. Again, waterfalls, mountains, hot springs, some beach with good snorkeling, and then a city that has all the conveniences. So those are the three areas that I've spent the most time in. Age-wise, for all three, I'm telling you, it doesn't really matter. There's a good wide range, and everyone just sort of gets along. Like I wouldn't be discouraged with your age or think that you're too old or too young. It's a mix. It seems like everywhere. And that goes for like things you can do, girls you can date, you know, restaurants and bar scene if you want that, or coffee shops, or entertainment, like whatever you're into. In all three of those options, I don't think age should play a part in like stopping you from going somewhere. I think it should be more about like, what are you wanting? You wanting a bigger city with like really all the healthcare right there, and you know, a bigger airport and stuff like that? And do you want something a little bit smaller with quick access to waterfalls and stuff? You almost have to check them out, to be honest. I think for me, come here, start in Cebu City, get set up a little bit, meet some people, and then you can hop on a plane and you can fly to Dumaguete for like dirt cheap, and it's like 30-minute flight, or not even. Like it's so quick. You show up, you spend a few days, and you feel it out, rent a scooter, and feel out Negros Oriental and Dumaguete, and maybe that's where you end up. Or take a ferry over to Tagbilaran and then cruise down to Panglao and spend a few days in that area. You don't really know until you get there, and that's what I've experienced. Like you might anticipate something and it's way different than you think. But I think starting in Cebu City really makes a lot of sense. So consider that. This is just my thought. There's probably tons of videos on each one that goes into great detail, but I just wanted to generalize and give you something to think about when you're considering coming here. So whoever made that comment, sorry, I forget who it was, but thanks for that. It got me thinking about making a video that talked about these places that I've been to. And guys, I hope you can make it out here and good things are gonna happen for you, I guarantee it. It's awesome out here for so many reasons. Anyways, good luck to you guys for whatever you end up doing. Thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one.